You ever get the feeling that a city's about to glow up, like it's right on the edge of something huge where the skyline's leveling up, the vibe is buzzing, and suddenly everyone's like, wait, what's going on there? Well, that's exactly what's happening in Tampa right now, but here's the crazy part. Most people here don't even see it yet. This isn't just a couple new condos or another brunch spot. We're talking billion-dollar builds, new skylines, game-changing infrastructure, the kind of stuff that flips a city's future on its head. Some of it hiding in plain sight. The rest quietly transforming entire districts while no one's paying attention. But today, we're pulling the curtain back on all of it. Let's dive into what's really shaping Tampa's next chapter, because once you see it, you won't look at this city the same way again. If you haven't looked up in downtown Tampa lately, you might be missing half the story, because whether you've driven through downtown lately or you're watching from afar, it's changing fast. The kind of change that makes you pause at a red light and just go, wait, was that building always there? Well, it wasn't. Tampa's skyline used to be known for its riverfront, a couple of office towers, and a laid-back, low-rise vibe. But now, we're moving into a whole new era, vertical living, luxury amenities, and true urban walkability. Take One Tampa, for example. This 42-story skyscraper is set to be the tallest residential building on the west coast of Florida. Floor-to-ceiling windows, panoramic views of the bay and the city, and architecture that screams modern luxury. It's a statement, and it's not alone. Just a few blocks away, Pendry, Tampa is mixing things up with a high-end hybrid luxury residences stacked above a 5-star hotel experience. Think concierge service, rooftop lounges, riverwalk access. It's a lifestyle at a whole new level. This one isn't just for Tampa locals either. It's catching the eyes of investors, snowbirds, and remote workers who want high-end amenities with urban convenience. And over on Bayshore, Altura is bringing modern design to one of Tampa's most iconic stretches. This isn't your average high-rise. It's a sleek, amenity-loaded building with views of the bay, walkability to restaurants, and everything from pickleball courts to rooftop infinity pools. Yes, pickleball courts, because it's 2025, and apparently that's essential now. But it's not just about tall buildings. It's about how the city feels. That's where Water Street Tampa comes in. If you haven't been down here lately, this 56-acre development is a total reset button for downtown. It's got it all. Restaurants, parks, apartments, hotels, office space. But what makes it special is the design intention. It's built around walkability, human scale design, and the idea that people should actually want to spend time outside. And it works. Clients I've toured through Water Street, they're blown away. They walk it once and go, wait, is this Tampa? It's giving Miami vibes with a lot less chaos. So here's the takeaway. Tampa isn't just stacking condos, it's reimagining how we live in the city. These projects, they're setting the tone for what urban life here can look like. Elevated, efficient, connected, and full of personality. And yes, none of this is starter home territory, but it's shaping demand, setting expectations, and pulling Tampa into a new lane. Now the question is, how do we get around all this new growth? Because if you've sat in traffic on Kennedy or tried to zip through downtown at 5 p.m., you know things are starting to get tight. And hey, if you're watching this thinking, I had no idea Tampa was changing this fast, that's exactly why we put these videos together. My team and I are local real estate professionals who live and work right here in Tampa and help people just like you buy, sell, and relocate every single day. So whether you're moving across town or across the country and want someone who actually understands how all this growth affects where you live and what you pay, we've got you covered. Our info's in the description. Reach out anytime. But let's go ahead and keep going, because what's changing on the ground might even be more important than what's going vertical. Let's talk about how Tampa is transforming the way we move. One of the biggest game changers in Tampa's future is how we get around the city. Now listen, Tampa wasn't exactly built for mass transit. It's been a car-heavy city for decades. And if you've ever tried to get from West Shore to downtown at 5:30 p.m., you know the pain is real. We're seeing serious investment in making Tampa more walkable, bike-friendly, and better connected, whether you're commuting from the suburbs or cruising around downtown without a car. The West Shore Interchange Project, this is a massive $1 billion plus overhaul of one of Tampa's busiest traffic hubs, where I-275, I-4, and the Veterans Expressway all meet up. It's one of the most frustrating choke points in the region, and now it's being rebuilt from the ground up. More lanes, better flow, and designs that actually make sense for the amount of growth we're seeing. It's not a quick fix, but when it's done, it'll change how the entire city connects. Then there's the new Howard Franklin Bridge. Now, this one's more than just a bridge upgrade. It's being future-proofed. Not only is it expanding capacity for cars, but it's also being built light rail ready. That means when regional transit eventually steps up, which it will, Tampa won't be caught flat-footed. Over in the heart of the city, another game changer is happening, the Tico Line streetcar expansion. Right now, the streetcar runs a limited route between downtown and Ybor, but the expansion will stretch it out towards Tampa Heights and the University of Tampa area. That means more people can live, work, and play across neighborhoods without ever needing a car. Imagine hopping on a quiet, modern streetcar for your daily commute instead of fighting for parking. It's cleaner, cheaper, and honestly, just kind of cooler. Now, let's talk about Gasworks. If you haven't heard about it yet, this is a mega mixed-use development connecting Ybor City, the Channel District, and downtown. It's about more than buildings, it's about stitching together neighborhoods. We're talking walkable blocks, new bike paths, office spaces, housing, restaurants, all blending into one vibrant, connected zone. Now, I've had clients who've seen the renderings and gone, wait, this is really happening? Yep. Dirt's already moving. This is real, and these aren't just projects for tourists and downtown professionals. They matter for everyday folks too. Whether you're heading to work, walking the dog, or just trying to grab a bite without circling the block 12 times for parking. Now, Tampa's finally making moves towards true mobility, and that changes everything, from how neighborhoods grow to where people want to live. But beyond roads and rails, there's another big story playing out. Tampa's economic engine is revving up. New jobs, expanding industries, and a city quietly becoming a magnet for high-skilled talent. So we've talked about the skyline, we've talked about how we're getting around, but now let's talk about why all of this is even happening, because Tampa's not just building bigger, it's building smarter. The city is becoming a magnet for money, jobs, and innovation, and if you're not paying attention to the business side of things, you're missing half the story. Let's kick it off with Tampa International Airport. Airside D is under construction right now, and when it opens, it's going to bring in millions more passengers every year. That means more nonstop flights, more international reach, and more major companies looking at Tampa and going, yeah, we can work with that. Translation, more talent, more tourism, more business. And just a few miles away, the Tampa Convention Center is getting a facelift of its own. More waterfront meeting spaces, better tech, bigger events. The city's not just chasing beach vacations, it's going after conferences, expos, big league business. But here's the part that really gets my attention. Tampa's quietly turning into a tech city. Like, for real, startups are popping up, high-skilled talent is moving in, and companies like ReliaQuest and Cross Border Solutions, they're not just based here, they're growing here. We've got places like Embark Collective, mentoring founders, building out the ecosystem, and attracting investors. I've even had relocation clients this year who moved here specifically for Tampa's startup scene. It's not just sunshine and palm trees anymore. It's coding, cybersecurity, fintech, and health tech. And that changes the entire market, because when the economy starts pulling in higher paying jobs, you get stronger buyer demand, more competition, and neighborhoods that rise fast. And here's the thing, the kind of growth doesn't make headlines the same way a new tower does, but if you're thinking about where to buy, where to invest, or where Tampa's headed next, this is the stuff you need to track. So yeah, we've got the cranes and the condos, but now we've also got tech startups, upgraded air travel, and a city that's catching serious momentum. But you know what makes all of this stick? What makes it actually livable? Sustainability, quality of life, planning for the people already here. So let's talk about that next, because a city isn't really thriving if it can't support the people who call it home. Look, Tampa can build all the high rises and tech hubs at once, but if the city floods every time it rains, that glow up, it won't last. So that's why this part's so important. Tampa's not just growing, it's learning how to grow smarter. Let's talk sustainability and livability, because yeah, that might sound like planner talk, but it's actually the stuff that affects your day-to-day. So first up, the West Riverwalk expansion. Now, if you've ever strolled the main Riverwalk, you already know the vibe. Runners, dogs, paddle boards, that golden hour glow on the water. But now, the city's extending it west, tying in more neighborhoods, more parks, and more direct access to downtown without needing a car. This is how Tampa becomes a lifestyle city. Not just a place you live, but a place you move through. And it's not just about pretty sidewalks and waterfront paths. Behind the scenes, the city's been investing in serious flood protection, upgraded drainage, green stormwater infrastructure, and LEED certified buildings popping up in new construction zones. Because yes, hurricanes are a thing, but the city's finally getting ahead of it. And that matters, especially if you're moving here long-term, buying property, or thinking investment. Because the last thing you want is to fall in love with a house only to find out that your flood insurance is as high as your mortgage. They're also rethinking green space. We're seeing parks that double as flood basins, retention ponds that actually look nice, and neighborhoods getting more trees, trails, and public spaces. And here's what I love. This stuff isn't just for the touristy zones. It's starting to show up in West Tampa, parts of East Tampa, and even up by USF and Sulphur Springs. Places most folks, they overlook. They're getting livability upgrades, and that's your clue. Watch where the city invests first, because where the sidewalks go, the value usually follows. Now here's the real gem. There are projects happening right now, like quietly happening, that almost no one's talking about yet. But if you know where to look, you can see exactly where Tampa's headed next. And now we're getting to the good stuff. You've seen the big towers, you've heard the headlines, but what about the stuff nobody's really talking about yet? Well, because if you want that insider advantage, whether you're buying, investing, or just curious about where Tampa's going next, these hidden projects are the ones to watch. So let's start with a sleeper, Rhythm at Uptown. I'm gonna be real, most people have never heard of this, but it's huge. We're talking about the transformation of the old University Mall near USF into a tech healthcare and research hub. It's over 100 acres of underused land being flipped into something that could totally change the North Tampa scene. Think innovation labs, student housing, retail, walkability, and ties to major institutions like Moffitt and USF. It's still early stages, but the potential, massive. And if you're someone who sees opportunity in the before picture, not just the after, this is a place to keep tabs on. Now, next up is Encore Tampa. Now, this one's closer to downtown, right on the edge of the Riverwalk and the Channel District. It's a public-private redevelopment focused on community, culture, and mixed-use space. That means housing, retail, parks, and some powerful historical preservation mixed in. Now, what I like about Encore is that it's not trying to be flashy. It's trying to be purposeful, walkable, livable, and built for real people. This is how you take overlooked land and turn it into something meaningful and valuable. And here's one thing that completely flies under the radar: smart city tech. Yeah, Tampa's testing things like flood sensors in drainage systems, zoning tech that helps streamline development, and even public-private projects to make neighborhoods more efficient and responsive. You might not see it when you drive around, but this kind of groundwork, it's what helps cities scale without falling apart. And if you're planning to live here long-term, that kind of foresight, smoother roads, faster building permits, and better infrastructure in your neighborhood. So why does all this matter? Well, because these projects are like early stock picks. Most people overlook them until it's too late. But the folks who are paying attention right now, they're the ones who end up in the right neighborhoods before the boom. And that's where I come in. This is why we track this stuff, why we walk the sites, talk to the builders, and dig through the city's plans so you don't have to. Now, if all of this has you thinking, okay, so what do I do with this info? Well, let's wrap it up with the big picture, and I'll break down exactly how this affects you as a buyer, seller, or future Tampa resident. Tampa's not just growing, it's transforming. From major transit upgrades and luxury towers to tech hubs and waterfront trails, the city's laying the foundation for something bigger and smarter. And the developments we just covered, they're already shaping where people want to live, invest, and build their future. So if you're planning a move, thinking about selling, or just want boots on the ground insight into where Tampa's headed, my team and I would love to help. We live here, we work here, and we keep tabs on every corner of the market. Our contact info is in the description below, and we're always just one message away. And if this video gave you a new perspective on Tampa's future, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and share it with someone who should be paying attention. The future's already unfolding, so let's help you be part of it. Thank you for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Woo!